Welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. Today we're working on the AMT Meyers Manx. It's a kind of cool little dune buggy. I've built this before many years ago. This is a 3-in-1 kit, so you can build it in a street version, a off-road racing version, or a super light dune climber version. As you can see on the side of the box here, it comes with flames, and I'll show you those on the decal sheet. It comes with optional, come here you slippery thing, comes with optional roofs that you can use. You can build it with the body or without the body. You can make it just like a rail bug, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, you can see on the box, on the box bottom, words, you can see all the parts trees. Speaking of parts trees, let's take a look at those now. In your first bag comes all these loose parts. These seats look too tiny for this thing. They really do. I'm used to doing larger vehicles. Here's your body. Here's one of your optional roofs. This is a Surrey roof. Then you have a more factory stock kind of roof. And looks like roll bars, etc., etc. Here's the next tree. Let me set this over here a little bit further. Next tree. It gives you these two plastic tires, but they don't explain anywhere where these are used. I assume that these are optional rear tires for the vehicle. I don't know. It doesn't mention these at all in the direction sheet, but these are Goodyear branded tires. I guess they would be like a sand tire, sand buggy tire. Got your gas pedals and push bar and all kinds of stuff on that tree. Here's your floor pan and your main frame of the vehicle. Gas tank. Your hood and some interior pieces and a CB antenna. Next is your chrome tree. It gives you two different style wheels. It gives you the steel wheels with the Baby Moon hubcaps, or it gives you the Crager Super Sport 5-spoke mags. I'm guessing that these two are for the plastic tires. I don't know. Like I said, they don't mention it in the direction sheet. Have no idea. Your engine parts, all chrome. Kind of cool. Next up is your decal sheet. Gives you quite a few options. Gives you two different colors of flames, so depending on which color you paint your body, you can pick the appropriate flames if that's what you're into. Some stripes, a couple of different license plates, and that's about it. Set that over there. Gives you your direction sheet here and a little history on the Meyers Manx. And it also gives you this was kind of neat. Let me get this page opened up here. It gives you the directions, basically rudimentary directions on assembling the full-size Manx kit or actual car, and it tells you everything you need to know on how to do that. Very cool, very cool. One other thing that they put in the box, it is the original art. It's frameable. It's a frameable picture of the Meyers Manx, and gives you a little write-up on the back of what that's about. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this body and other parts cleaned up and ready for paint, and I'll see you at the paint booth. Well, before we get to the paint booth, there is a couple of things I forgot when I did the rollout here. I knew there was something I was forgetting, but for some reason it just didn't occur to me until I started kind of gathering things back together. Included in the kit is one metal axle. They also give you Firestone off-road tires. They give you Goodyear street tires and slightly larger Goodyear tires. I'm assuming that these tires here, these ones and these ones, are for street use. If you're going to do an off-road, you put these with these. Yeah, okay. I don't know how I forgot it. Also, I forgot the clear parts. Your two taillights. Now they give you an option on windshield and rear window, either clear or orange, as well as orange headlight lenses or clear headlight lenses. How I forgot about those, I don't know. I was looking over here to my right where I keep all the stuff staged, and I knew there was something I was forgetting, something I was missing, and there it is. So that's all you get in the kit. Now we can get started and get over to the paint booth. See you in a minute. Alright fellas, I finally got this engine together, and putting the engine together itself isn't bad. It's this exhaust system. It is problematic, to say the least. It's basically 4 pieces. You have this one that wraps all the way around, these 2 underneath, they all meet in the center with a collector. They don't line up really well. So I finally got it together. It doesn't look great, but it's there. And that's all the further I'm going with that. I should have painted the engine, but I didn't. I just left it all chrome. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So now we're on to working on the chassis. I've got most all of the parts here ready to go. There might be a few that I missed painting. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, no. Some on that tree yet. Okay. This car wasn't... originally I wasn't going to build this. I just bought this kit for the Crager Super Sports that it came with. And it's been sitting around for about a year. And I finally decided, well, I might as well go ahead and build this thing and be done with it. So here we are. So let's get going with this chassis. Let's see how far we can get with it today. All right. Alright fellas, I got quite a ways ahead here. There is a couple of things that most people wouldn't tell you about, but I'm going to. And those things are, when you go to put this together, and I'm sure that this holds true for any of the AMT, Volkswagen, Beetle bodies. I'm not sure. I haven't built any yet. I have several on the shelf waiting to be built. But when you go to build this, first of all, I had to take a little notch out of the body there, just a little bit. Had to shave it off with a little with my Dremel, just a touch, because there was some clearance problems back here. Also, when you go to paint your body, tape that off. Same with the floor pan, because that's where it attaches. And if you don't have any paint on there, it'll attach better. And just a heads up. I'm just about finished up with this. I still have to put the interior together and everything, but I'll see you at the final. Welcome back to the final on the Meyers Manx Dune Buggy by AMT. This is an odd little car that I picked up just for the Crager SS wheels that were included in the kit. I used those wheels on that 66 Wildcat build that was completed back in February of 2023. So this kit's been sitting on the shelf ever since then, and I wasn't going to toss it out just, you know, after scavenging the mags from it. So I decided to go ahead and build it. This thing is quite quirky with all of its tiny parts, but it's quite a bit of fun to build as well. Well, with the exception of the exhaust system, that was a pain in the butt, because it's got five tiny little parts, and trying to get those all aligned together and still have them attached to the engine, it took me forever. I was about to just smash the thing with a hammer. And the exhaust tip originally was chrome, but there was a pin mark on the side of the exhaust tip from where it came out of the mold. In order to get that pin mark out, I ended up having to sand it to get it out, but I removed about a third of the chrome off the exhaust tip because that pin mark was so big. So I ended up just sanding it all off, painting it white. It also was a solid piece, and what I mean by that is it wasn't like a tube. So I got out the drills and stuff and opened that all up, and then with a little bit of painting detail, it looks like a tube, like it should. I also decided that I would go with a quirky paint job on this little car. I didn't want to go with the box art orange. That looked okay, but I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to look somewhat different. So I went with this paint called Tourmeline Pink Metallic, which is a deco art color, and I think that it kind of looks great, you know, especially with the white roof and white seats. It looks good together. Now, I do have a few issues with the way this kit was made, or more to the point, the way the direction sheet was designed and printed. There were part numbers on the trees, but there weren't any part numbers on the direction sheet. And so, you know, you found yourself kind of guessing, is this the right part? You know, because there was, you know, kind of tiny parts there, and you just had to like match them up to the picture. Okay, I got the right part for that. And they were also kind of vague in where the parts went on the body or on the chassis in the picture, and it was just kind of I don't know, I found myself guessing where these parts went for, you know, and that's just, I don't know. I just got to the point where there was a couple of parts that, you know, the direction sheet said, oh, it attaches to the front, but it didn't give you the proper orientation, and it, I don't know, I just tossed those aside. I said, the heck with it, after trying to figure it out for a couple of minutes, and I was like, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to see these parts anyway. The body's going to cover them up. So so those didn't get put on the car. Now let me give you a word of advice too. When it comes to installing the fuel tank, make sure you put the fuel tank on the chassis before you put the body on the chassis, because once you put the body on the chassis, you can't fit that fuel tank in from the top, nor can you get it in from underneath because of the front suspension. Also, once you get the headlights on, you can't open the hood. So really the installation of the fuel tank becomes kind of moot at this point, because you can't see it from the top, like by opening the hood. You can only see it from underneath, and you're only going to see it from underneath if you actually pick the car up and look. And if you're not aware of what you're looking at, you're not going to even notice that it's missing. So just make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to end up having to disassemble stuff to install that fuel tank. For me, I had to remove the front suspension. Luckily the glue hadn't fully set on that. I mean, it was set hard enough that when I kind of had to pry it off of there, and it kind of snapped when it, you know, it didn't break the parts, but it snapped free. And then I was able to push the fuel tank up in place and glue the front suspension back on. Well, this build is done, and I hope that you enjoyed this build video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. It helps the YouTube algorithm to share my content, which actually does help my channel grow. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, or you can drop me a line at scaleautoguy@gmail.com. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching Scale Auto Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.